Okay, welcome to the External Secrets Operator Community Meeting. Today is July 5th, and just reminding everyone that this community meeting is under Code of Conduct from CNCF, and basically it's just treat everyone in an excellent way. Going through the agenda items, the first one is about the community meeting time. Not sure we can reach majority here, but yeah, Gustavo wanted just to bring this up because we have new maintainers all over the world, and maybe we need to change the time. Do you know where the new maintainer is based?
I think it's in Japan.
Japan, yeah.
Which is minus 6 hours-ish, I think.
Oh, okay.
So right now it's like 3 a.m. in the morning, I think.
Oh, it will be hard to find the time.
Hours. Yeah, it must be like around noon our time. So like, yeah, around noon our time. Not sure what time it is for Gustavo then.
Yeah, what happens in SIG scheduling is that they have two meetings. One that is for like America and Europe, and then another one for like people that are in Asia or some APAC. Yeah. But then I'm not sure we have enough people to make that work as well. I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it makes sense to have two. Maybe we can have like taking turns. Like one week we do one time, and then the other week we do the other time, and we see who can join or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can just switch up every other time we do like the other time zone. I think it should be fine that then I guess Europe is always able to join.
Yeah.
I think so. Either it's like early, quite early, or quite late.
Yes.
That's like most of the time should be fine.
Yeah, we can try to. Yeah, let me take note of that.
We can just probably just ask in Slack, ask Shuhei when he has time for the early meeting, at least like from our time zone perspective.
Yeah.
And I guess we can just stay at the 8 p.m. our time meeting that we do right now.
Yeah. How do I write his name? Shuhei, like this?
Like this.
Shuhei. Okay. Okay. Do you have anything else on this?
No. I guess we can just as an action item, maybe I can just put myself on it. Ask in Slack regarding.
Oh yeah, I can move this down.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I can just. Yeah. The second one is multiple secret generation with external secrets. I didn't see this. Let me have a look. I remember an old issue on this, I think.
Dig it up if you're able to find it. I looked at the issue and I wasn't sure if I understand the use case correctly. I think that there are like multiple issues or enhancements that we can pull
They're
out of
kind
that.
of related. Yeah. Oh, they want to set up rejects that, but not using the data from. Oh, so without using the data from, they want to use a rejects and like generate multiple secrets with a single external secret.
Yeah, that's a substantial change. I think we can surely consider it, but we definitely need a design document for that. Like, this is like a substantial change, and we need to like figure out how we can make that possible, and then make a decision if we want to.
To implement this, and
Yeah,
if we have enough demand as well, like enough people wanting this as well.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I guess it's fine to open an issue to at least track that as a feature and point to that Slack thread and pull all the relevant information out of that thread, and then see what the feedback is.
yeah, I can send a message right now. I sent a message on the
Cool.
thread from. Okay,
Yep.
then yeah, the third one I just added here, so we remind ourselves what we have to do to add the new maintainer.
I mean,
Is
like an onboarding thing, or
yeah, onboarding. I saw the first PR is already in merged. Then we have the other stuff like uh, I don't remember all the details. We need probably a onboarding document somehow.
yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense. I guess I can just put. I guess I can just add myself. Create onboarding maintainer onboarding docs.
but basically adding to Paul, adding to. Are we adding everyone to Open Collective and this other stuff, or wouldn't it make? I don't know.
Um,
Infra
I guess
accounts and all.
yeah, the thing is we don't have a policy for that yet.
Yeah, yeah,
I guess that would be like another big topic to make a policy and like a sort of like an access control matrix to see like what role has access to what kind of resource and what kind of permissions.
One thing we can do is like we don't need to add anyone until they need it.
Yeah, I guess that's sensible for now. I don't really want to write up a policy that you know
Yeah, we don't
just
have
write
enough
down
people.
for.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
sake of it, we can just like if we need it, we ask it, and then we add it if it makes sense. for
Yeah.
now, that's a good policy. I think adding to poll and to the repository is needed, and then we just do that.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably like part of the maintainer onboarding docs, just to at least have documentation about what kind of systems we have and what kind of access um, can be provided if there is a need for it, and then just clearly state like you can have access if you have a need for it. I guess
Yeah.
like for things like Open Collective, it's not necessarily needed until you I don't know need to reimburse something or I don't
But
know.
even then, you can just ask. I think you don't need admin for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. New providers on the horizon.
Yep. There are two open PRs regarding new providers. One I just finished the review. That looks good. That's for daily NEA, DevOps Secrets Vault. Never heard of that before, but that is apparently a thing with quite a lot of history. It's quite
Okay.
of a sort of an old thing. Anyway, so that looks good. And the second thing that's on the horizon is for the OpenStack key management
Wow.
API called Barbican. It's called Barbican. I guess that's it's a very good thing to consider. Though I took a look at the API and it doesn't look like a usable secrets management sort of API because you mostly work with UUIDs, and that's just ugly as hell. But we'll see. Maybe you can find a way to make it work. But that's
But
definitely like a good thing.
is this an issue that someone opened?
There's some PR open already, and like a full
Oh,
implementation is there already.
okay. Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
But very interesting that people want this. That like this means a lot in some other ways. Interesting. Barbican.
yeah, yeah. That's just FYI that there's like more stuff coming, and I had the thought again, like when do we decide to kind of stop onboarding new providers, or I think we're now at 15, 16ish, I believe, and there's still more coming in. Yeah, and that's just a question I had. No need to answer that or
Yeah,
whatever. I'm just not sure how scalable that is.
me too. Yeah, we're starting to reach that point where a way to remove providers seem very like build an image. I saw somewhere a proposition of like not having necessarily plugins, but having a way to build images without providers, right?
Yeah, strip them out basically.
Yeah, that seems interesting. Yeah, and also the plugin system would be very interesting, like having a registry and like some way to let people build their own stuff.
Yeah, yeah, but I guess we'll see how we continue with this whole plugin system and build system for like custom providers and that stuff. I'm not sure if that's should be our priority right now. I guess it shouldn't.
Yeah, but then, but I think this question that you posed here is important. Like maybe we can start it on Slack already. New providers on the horizon. Like, should we stop? When should we stop?
Yeah, yeah. I can just um, open a thread in Slack. right. Anything else?
The last one, I think you added as well. What needs to be done for a GA basically ties to this. I think the last thing on the official list was the plugin system, right?
Though we postponed that and moved that out of that milestone because
Yeah,
because it's too complex and
it doesn't give like necessarily like feature value for the users, right?
yeah. Like as it will result in a lot of support issues that we need to answer.
Yeah,
We need to provide like a migration/upgrade path. We eventually have to deprecate the current approach or the then old approach. And it's really hard to stabilize this new set of functionality within a reasonable time frame. So I think like code wise, feature wise, I think GA is overdue now, and I don't think that we should wait until we've implemented that and stabilized that and so
yeah,
on, because that would defer GA for at least half a year or maybe even a year to have like proper to have fleshed out all the bugs that are in there, because it's like a major refactoring. It's like so much more code that we need to add and new interfaces that we define and
yeah.
so on. It's really like a lot.
But then, do we want that other thing that we just mentioned about like restripping out providers to build custom images, or do we just have everything we need right now for GA?
I mean, I wouldn't add it as a requirement for GA. It's just if some company, some user has a need for it or has like a strong opinion about it, they are free to implement it. But it's not that we really need it or that our users just are waiting for that feature. That's not the
Yeah,
case, and no one really asked for it. It's more like a thing that
yeah,
came like out of us to just limit the attack surface of our project.
yes,
So I guess it's on us to decide that. My opinion is that it doesn't really make sense. Like there's no user waiting for that feature,
yeah.
and I guess it's a better time investment to move towards GA and just postpone that feature, like the tag based thingy.
Cool. So moving to GA for us, we are also moving APIs to V1, right? The stable ones, the ones that are in beta.
Yeah.
Are we doing the same thing like with conversions? Like we are also converting V1 beta 1 to V1?
Uh,
It's
I
basically the same thing, right?
I need to look it up. I'm not sure how that model works. It has been quite a while since I looked at it. I think it's like a hub spoke model that you're able to convert V1 to like alpha 1 to beta 1. I'm not sure how that then works from V1 to beta 1 if you have to like convert it back to V1
Back.
beta 1 or so. That would be like that doesn't really make sense. I don't know.
No.
I guess we just need to take a look at it, how that works. But yeah, sure. Like everything will be V1 then, at least like secret store, external secrets. I think the cluster external secrets and cluster secret store as
Yeah.
well. I think it's just these four, and then the other API groups, push secrets and generators. They are just out of scope. They are still alpha grade,
Yes. Yes.
and there are a couple of cleanup tasks that we need to do before, or probably while we define the V1 APIs, and we probably also need some way to develop the V1 APIs and have them in our source code without releasing them, because I think we need to create the V1 APIs, but then it's still like a couple of PRs are needed to refine those, because I think we need to do some conversions, some consolidations, all that kind of stuff that
Hmm.
but I'm not really sure how we can have that in our main branch and still cut releases from it without releasing V1. I guess that would be bad, but I guess we got to dig into that and see how we can make that work. So we have like the GA CRDs in our code, but we don't package it up.
I see. The way we did with some stuff here at Red Hat is that I'm not sure this is also the way, because we don't use QBuilder, but we have an internal type, internal version, let's say, that is usually very similar to the latest version. And every conversion, we just convert to this one, to the internal version, let's say.
Yeah.
And we don't have an internal version we just have the versions on QBuilder the way that we build right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this would make things simpler, I'm not sure. The thing is that with QBuilder, a lot of stuff are like standardized. So I'm not sure what you can do. Like, they are not the way that they show on the documentation.
Yeah, I think we need to dig and find out what the best migration path is. And I guess like worst case, if it's like a big bang sort of thing, we can just maybe have like a dedicated branch for it and regularly merge it. I guess that would be like worst case, the thing that we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we gotta see. I think like in the controller code, you always reference a particular version inside our controller code, and then I think controller runtime and QBuilder and all the tooling around it just takes a look at that particular type and its
Yeah.
version and so on. So yeah. Yeah, not sure how to make that work. That's weird. Yeah, I guess we just gotta dig and see
Yeah.
how we are able to manage that.
But as a conclusion, it's just that we can go to GA, right? Like, all that in mind, we can go to GA.
Yeah. I think it's now time to focus on that and leave most of the stuff on the side. Maybe just do like just the regular maintenance work, but don't necessarily put a lot of time to
New stuff
new
coming in.
stuff, new features, new I don't know what kind of stuff. But better focus on that kind of stuff. I think that's quite important.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, we could, when we have more people joining the community meeting, maybe next community meeting, or the one that we will do taking turns,
Yeah.
we can see if we can sync up with the other maintainers about this as well. Like maybe dividing some tasks as well. This kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Um, okay. Do you have anything else?
One more thing came to my mind. No. Yeah, it's regarding syncing config maps. So so the idea is to have ESO create config maps instead of secrets
Secrets.
to like just as a different target resource that you can create. The backstory of that is that like some companies they have like some sort of config data stored somewhere, and they just need some way to sync that up into Kubernetes, and they manage it like through different means, say Terraform or whatnot, and they just need some controller to pull that configuration variables and pull them into Kubernetes and store them as a config map rather than a secret. I think we've had that use case for a couple of times now. And now while we're talking about V1 and GA, yeah, I'm not sure if we want to, um, implement that before or after GA. I'm not really sure how that could look like, because that will then be like a substantial change to the API. I think.
Yeah. The idea is that everything that we do with secrets right now, we would also add as an option to do the same thing with config maps.
Yeah, like instead of having a kind secret, you can just create a kind config map. That would be like the MVP, I would say. But some other users also mentioned that they would like to create like a custom resource.
Oh yeah, I remember that from
That,
the
that
talk.
was
Yeah.
from, that was from KubeCon, and that's also a thing that we then probably need to consider when we design such a feature.
Yes, for sure. I personally wouldn't do that before GA. I don't know why. Now I would have to think, but yeah, curious to see what other maintainers think about this. Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine. I guess it's better to focus on the GA parts rather than that minor feature that isn't, I guess, isn't really like that relevant, because you can still use secrets.
yeah, you can mount
But yeah,
secrets as like config files, if you could call them like that in a way. Like
yeah,
our example with Grafana, it's basically the same.
hmm.
But yeah, I see the use case that you mentioned. It's a bit different, but yeah, it's a bit weird as well.
Yeah, and I guess regarding GA, the milestone that we have that contains like most of the larger, definitely the important work that needs to be done. But I think there's also like a lot of stuff that is missing at the moment, which isn't there as an issue. Like a lot of documentation stuff that is still missing or needs some more fleshing out. So I guess maybe I don't know if we have the time for it, but maybe we can just have a session, like a brainstorming session of, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, or maybe 40 or 45. I guess that would be plenty to just think about what else is important other than that stuff that is already documented there. I think like lots of documentation and that kind of stuff is missing, but yeah,
Yeah,
not
I
sure.
agree.
What do you think?
I agree. I agree. That makes sense. We can schedule it. I'm not sure about using a community meeting. Maybe a dedicated meeting that we can like make sure that people accept and join.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be great if we can make a extra meeting.
Yeah. So okay. I can pick this one. Okay.
Cool. I think.
Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. Then, yeah, thank you for joining. I will end the recording.